Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining on this webinar today, where we will be looking at the dashboard at Hoist Dashboard. First of all, let me introduce Danny Rees, who's Sales Director for our Irish division, and she's going to join us today, and will be sharing some of her skills in explaining some of the dashboard features. First of all, I wanted to thank everybody for participating and attending today. We are going to make a couple of announcements, but we will save for the end a big one that we will be sharing with you about the dashboard. First of all, I want to explain the new setup of the dashboard and the new premium and light versions that are currently available. Okay, the dashboard has currently two versions. The premium version has all the functionalities available. You have both the operational and guest view facilities, as well as the business information and KPIs, the what's called the business analysis that allows for on the books information analysis, the full reporting elements, as well as the new features that are going to be announced today. The light version allows a limited access to most of these functionalities. It can allow you to drill down into the different functionalities in depth, but it allows all customers to see a basic view of the product. Based on that, the announcement we are going to make today is that we are sharing two new important functionalities of the dashboard. First of all, there is the benchmarking analysis. Now, benchmarking is important in a lot of industries, basically because it allows a company to understand its competitors, compare against them, and know whether the processes and the performance KPIs are being delivered better or worse than competition. It helps take management decisions. Now, in hospitality, benchmarking has, on top of that, a very specific value. Why? Because in hospitality, the performance of a hotel, let's say the RevPAR that was achieved last week, is highly dependent on a lot of contextual factors, whether it was a sunny or a rainy week, whether there was an event going on in my city, whether there was a big trade show. All these things have a significant impact on the performance of the hotel. And due to this, it is not easy to say, well, did my marketing strategy actually work? Or is my new pricing policy delivering as it should? Or is the campaign I'm launching with Bookie.com actually delivering all those rooms I expected? Well, there is a way to measure the impact of all these factors. And it is a smart and intelligent way that the hospitality has delivered, and it's based in benchmarking. The trick is very simple. If you look at the performance of a set of hotels that basically were in the same conditions as you were, let's say in the same category, in the same city, maybe addressing the same guest market, then you can start to understand whether you did well or bad. If my occupancy was 95% of that benchmarking, then suddenly I realize I'm not getting all the guests I could. My competitors are doing better. If my ADR was 102%, that of the average, then I realize I'm making a very good use of my pricing policy. And of course, if next week, instead of 95%, it's 97%, then I can realize my strategies or my decisions are actually delivering. I'm actually improving. I'm catching up. Due to this, benchmarking is very important to the hospitality industry. And for that same purpose, we're incorporating it today in the dashboard. I'm handing now over to Danny Rees, who's going to show you in a demo how this all exactly works. Danny, over.
Francisco. Hi, everybody. Just 2 moments. I'm going to begin by sharing my screen, so bear with me. So Francisco, can you let me know, can you see that okay?
Yes, we can see it.
Fantastic. So what I'm going to do is just a brief introduction, I suppose, to the dashboard and some of the key features about it. And then I'll walk you through how to get to that new and exciting benchmarks tool that Francisco's just been talking about. So the dashboard itself is a web app, so you can access it on any sort of device that has internet access. You can get it from your phone, laptop, anything like that. Essentially, it's a tool that has what I would like to say is worlds of data available in it. It pulls through data from your property management system. It has some data belonging to your guest and review performance, as well as some data from our networking, TV, and infrastructure as well. On the dashboard itself, you can break it down to your various segments. So we have our business, where we can see some key KPIs. So we can see, for example, here, my performance. I can see my average daily rate, my revenue per available room, TRevPAR, occupancy data, as well as total revenue data as well. So I've got all of that data available at my fingertips. It's quite flexible in the sense that from here, what you can do is you can actually change your dates. So quite easily, I can take a look at yesterday, last 7 days, that's 14 days, or I can select a custom date range as well. With your custom date range, you can look at historical and your business on the books data as well. This is all feeding directly from your property management system. Now, some of the benefits to the tool is the ease that the data is actually displayed to you. So for example, here, if I hover over any of these dates, it's straight away giving me a value for this year comparatively against last year, as well with a year-over-year comparison. So it's a little tooltip that's giving me my year-over-year KPIs. If we pop into briefly just the guest services side of things, on the guest services side of things, sorry, bear with me now, I'm just getting a few errors popping up for me. What we can see here is we can see some of the sentiment and review performance about the property. Again, we can start to make decisions and insights based on review performance. Maybe I'm starting to get quite a few negative reviews about my property, possibly about the networking, infrastructure, something like that, and starting to affect my future bookings. The tool is there to allow you to see all of this information. Similarly, with our service information here, we can start to see information about our network devices, where the devices might be currently up, down, what my current bandwidth utilization is. So it's all of the data at your fingertips. In the dashboard, you can easily navigate and manage your profile. You can choose whether you want it to show in various different color themes. You can also choose whether you want your revenue to display with or without VAT. So it allows you to kind of see your figures gross or net. From here as well, we can also navigate to different areas of the dashboard. So one of those areas specifically is your benchmarking tools. So this is what Francisco has just been talking about. So when we go into our benchmarking tool here, what we can see is straight away, we can see a summary view, then we can see a timeline view. So if I turn off the summary view here for a moment, what we can see is we can see our occupancy, average daily rate, revenue per available room, and total revenue per available room as well. When we're looking at these figures, what we see is we see an evolution or a chart of the growth of our occupancy. But what it's doing is based on the Hoist Group footprint. So bear in mind, we're looking at PMS data here. So it's based on the Hoist Group footprint and the data available to us. We're able to see my occupancy for my hotel versus, in this example, a country average occupancy. So I can highlight on any of the touch points here, and straight away I'm seeing how my hotel is doing over the country as a whole. So this is that insight that Francisco mentioned. But maybe I want to take a look at something that's a little bit more detailed. So I want to take a look at my city or my area, Or maybe I know that there's not many hotels in my area and I like to compare myself against another seasonal town, for example. What you can do here is you can set various different templates. So I could take a look at my hotel versus the entire market. Or if we go to our filters from here, we can actually select various cities or areas. So if I, in Ireland, am a seasonal property in Kerry, and I know I'm the only hotel there, I can actually compare myself maybe against another seasonal property in Westport or in Galway. And I know there's several hotels there, and I know they're with Hoist Group. So it allows me then to do that benchmarking and that comparison to see how I am doing against my competitive set. From here then as well, you can also select your forecast indicators. So if I want to select my business on the books, and I want to see future how I'm going to be doing against my competitive set. Similarly enough, then you can see for your historical data as well. So all of that is available for you to manipulate and extract the data. If I turn back on the summary views, this is just a summary where I can see, for example, based on my filters, it's taking a look at yesterday. So I can see the country average, and I would be able to see how my demo hotel is doing comparatively against it as well. So the data is all available, and it's the benchmarking tool. We also do have various other tools available in the dashboard, like our business analysis tool, which allows you to also focus down to look more so at your booked room nights, average daily rate, and forecast booking trends. So it's an intelligent tool to allow you to manipulate data again, based on various filters, all customized based on your PMS data, as well as you can change your stay date range and your booking creation date range as well. So quite a few different, what I would say, tools available in here for you to make more decisions based on the data available at your fingertips. So that's just a brief introduction to the dashboard and that new and exciting benchmarking tool. Francisco, back over to yourself.
Sorry. Thank you, Danny. That was an excellent showcase. Of course, if you want to understand a bit more in detail any of the functionalities of the dashboard, don't hesitate to contact your sales rep or to contact Hoist directly in order to request a full demo of the different elements of the product and to understand how it can work with your property. Now, we're going to make a second announcement today as well, and that is also very important. Until now, the dashboard has been basically working based on HotSoft PMS data, which means that you could only make use of parts of the dashboard functionality, particularly those related to on-the-books analysis and to business and performance KPIs if your PMS was HotSoft. Now, as of today, we're announcing that the dashboard is fully compatible with Opera PMS as well. So if you have an Opera hotel, you can request that this functionality is enabled as well. Now, some of you may have a question there. What does it really take to actually implement Opera data in the dashboard? And it's actually a very simple procedure. All you have to do is request from your sales representative or contact directly Hoist, as we will be showing at the end of the slideshow during this meeting, and request that your Opera dashboard is enabled. Now, you will be requested a contact person of the staff responsible for Opera in your hotel, and he or she will in turn be contacted by a remote agent from Hoist that will, together with him, configure a couple of reports in the reporting engine of Opera. Once that is done, everything will be ready, and you will just have to wait 24 hours to start understanding and receiving all the data in the dashboard. So it's a very simple process. It doesn't require any integration. It doesn't carry any additional cost to you. Now, we are announcing as well today a particular promotion that will be valid until the 15th of December 2021. So for all new subscriptions to the dashboard that are coming as of today and until the 15th of December, the customer will receive the first 3 months for free. There will be no setup fees, as we have commented. This is obviously applicable for Opera customers too. And after the 3 months, you can actually opt to stay in the premium version, where you will be subject to a charge, or you can decide to downgrade to the light version. Now, the light version, as we mentioned at the beginning, is free of charge. So you may be able to use it indefinitely at no cost. Now, together with this promotion, we're offering as well today in our website, and when you link to it, when you join the campaign, you will be able to see there is an ROI calculator. This calculator will let you understand what could be the benefit for your hotel of implementing all the management practices that you have seen are enabled by the dashboard. So I strongly encourage you to go and join and take a look at it, because it is a very interesting tool and it will help you understand how the dashboard can improve the results of your hotel. Now, as things are, we are going to finish this presentation now. We are going to open the Q&A session for participants. Okay, I'm looking at the question now. We have a question from Anton Hallström, and he's asking, does this work on all PMSs? Now, as explained at the beginning, and for the time being, this works only on HotSoft and Opera PMS hotels. We're obviously considering extending it to other PMSs as well, but for the time being, compatibility is ensured only for these 2 appliances. There is another request from an attendee that's asking to get a copy of the recording session. We are more than happy to share that. Please contact us. You will see an email address posted in the slide deck at the end of the presentation. Please contact us and request it. We will be very happy to share with you the recorded version. Now, okay, Anton is asking, what are the main differences between the light and the premium version? Now, Luis, if you could put back the slide where we show the 2 versions of, or maybe let me do it. Yeah, that is it. There you can see the different features and what is available on light and premium. Now, as you can see, it's a balanced set of features. A lot of the in-depth analysis, such as the competitive benchmarking or the reputation management, is only available on the paid version. But nevertheless, on the light version, you get to see a basic view of the 21 widgets out of the 24 that are available, and you still get to see KPIs computed and allocated for your hotel. If you want to have a more detailed explanation of what is available in each of these plans, what I recommend is that you contact your sales representative and ask for a full demo and a full explanation, because it is a fairly extensive tool and it would take some time to provide you with explanations in detail of everything. We would be certainly more than welcome to help you understand it. Okay. Now let's see if we have some other questions. And yes, there is an attendee that's asking, what are the security measures about the hotel data exported? Okay, these has several elements to it. First of all, the data we basically use for the dashboard is not privacy related data, so we don't use any data related to specific guests. That is important because it actually protects us from having to enter into GDPR environment and makes it a lot safer for the hotel as well. As regards the specific data from the hotel, the only user that can see that data are those allowed and those users created by the hotel themselves. Now, the data is stored in our data center, if I am correct, in our data center in Geneva, and it follows security procedures that we have to follow for all the rest of the applications that we have. Many of which are PCI compliant, etc. So it does follow a set of very stringent security measures in order to ensure that the data is not available to a hacking exercise. Now, if you want to have a fully detailed explanation of these, I would have to engage some of our IT staff. I would be certainly happy to explain it to you, but I'm not able to do it straight away now. Please feel free to follow up after the session, and I will provide you with all the details from our technical department. Okay. Let's see if some other questions pop up. If there are any other panelists or any other questions?
Yeah, if anybody has anything at all that they want to know, just let us know. You know, if you have any specific questions relating to the dashboard and any feature, feel free to ask it here, and either myself or Francisco will be happy to answer it. Or even specifically, again, that new and exciting Opera integration that we mentioned. So, you know, specifically to relating to Francisco and that benchmarking side of things, it's going to kind of just have additional data and additional PMS data available. So it's just going to enrich that tool and make it even more valuable to hoteliers. So definitely very exciting coming along there now as well.
Perfect. So, oh, here is one. Is there a fee to Opera involved when setting up the dashboard? No, in principle, there isn't. There certainly isn't a setup fee, as we have explained with us, but as it regards Opera, in principle, the only thing you need to have is the reporting engine enabled, which is by default normally enabled in all hotels. So there normally isn't any additional fee that you have to pay Opera for enabling the dashboard. Hope that answers your question. Yes, there's also another request for recording. Please, Steve, feel free to contact marketing@hoistgroup.com if you're interested in getting a link to the recording. We'll be more than happy to share it with you. Okay. Well, I think okay, there is another question. In which format can I produce reports? Now, this is a complex question because basically there are more than 50 different report capabilities in the dashboard. It's, as you know, as you have seen today, there are reports related to operations, to business KPIs, reservations, guests, etc. Now, these reports normally can be extracted in multiple formats. You can extract a PDF, but you can also extract them in an Excel format. so that you can then manipulate the data and play with it. There's also CSV versions available for some of them. And in the case of the drill down of the reports, you oftentimes have also the possibility of producing a slide deck as well. Now, you have to check each and every specific report, and depending on the information it contains, the different formats in which it could be extracted vary a little, but more or less the general profile is the one I have explained. And yes, to answer your question, you can normally extract to Excel, and in some cases you can also extract directly a PowerPoint slide as well. Now, the reports are also a schedule, so you can actually schedule them directly to receive them every week or every month or every day, depending on the type of report and the purpose it has. This is all something you can actually set up yourself in the tool, and it's very helpful in terms of receiving updated information in your device on a regular basis. Now we have another question. In regards to benchmarking analysis, can we select per 5-star, 4-star hotels, business city, resort, for example? Now, as regards the benchmarking analysis, what is being implemented today and will be available just in a couple of weeks will be the possibility of selecting as well the hotels by category. Now, we're not using the standard 5, 4, 3-star category range used in many countries in Europe, because it is not granular enough for the purpose. So we are using instead the standard American category set system that is mostly used by brands in the market, that's based in economy, mid-scale, upscale, upper upscale, luxury, etc. This is a lot more granular, and it allows us to apply rules that can be used across different countries and regions with a certain degree of homogeneity, and thus it is more useful. But yes, certainly you will be able to select by category, and as well you can select by multiple cities if you want to add different cities to your benchmark. This is also something you can do. Basically, geographically, you can play with the different selection models and combine multiple of them in order to define your benchmark. Now, for a few KPIs, we are also allowing to define a full competitive set. Right now, this is available for the reputation part, but it will be extended to other KPIs as well over time. Now, there is another question. Has everybody in the hotel access to all info, or can I restrict access to certain groups and roles of employees? Well, the different functionalities of the dashboard can be made available to different profiles, and you can basically assign, you can play with the assignment of rights so that you can have some specific profiles just see parts of the dashboard. That is a feature that has just been implemented, and you will be able to test it as well fairly soon. It allows, for example, a general manager to assign parts of the dashboard to front office or IT or marketing without necessarily letting them see the full scope. There are another question here. Does the benchmark figures come from hotel trends? No, the benchmark figures do not come from an external source. They're internally computed by Hoist based on our own penetration index in the market. Okay. I think we're mostly done. I don't see any more questions popping up, so we're going to give 10 more seconds. Otherwise, we will be canceling the webinar. First, let me thank everybody for participating today and for your thoughtful and very interesting questions. I hope it was interesting for you. If you have any questions, if you want any follow-up on this promotion or on the product itself, please feel free to contact us at marketing@hoistgroup.com or through your normal sales rep. Thanks a lot to everybody and have a very nice afternoon. Bye.